It's a bad design. The whole thing inside will get covered in oil that will turn brown and be very hard to clean. I already tested 2 air fryers and they have the same issue. This Air Fryer Pro doesn't have it. If you don't like buzzing, static noises, I would go with this one because I haven't had that issue. This device, a lot better quality, easier to clean. I use it all the time and it makes my food taste just so much better. It saves me frustration, saves me time, and it looks good on my counter. Hi everyone, in today's video, I'm comparing these 2 air fryers. This is the Breville air fryer standard model and this is the Breville air fryer pro model. So this one, as you can see, it's bigger. It's not that much bigger on the outside. It is taller, it's wider, and slightly deeper. The difference on the inside is quite big. You can fit a lot more in this toaster oven. For example, you can fit 2 air fryer baskets, while in this one you can only fit 1. This shouldn't be a problem if you're just cooking for 1 or for a couple, but if you're preparing dinners for 4 people or more, or if you have guests over pretty often, this will be much better choice. I had this air fryer for like 4 years at least. It's well used and pretty old. We've been using it every single day, sometimes even a few times a day for a very long time. I never felt like it was too small for us, but it's just me and my husband. We never actually used it to cook dinner for more than 2 people, so it worked for us just fine. But if you have a big family, this may be too small. This Breville Air Fryer Pro model is bigger. At first, when I was deciding between these 2 models, I only saw online that the main difference between the Air Fryer and the Air Fryer Pro is 2 extra modes. It's the dehydrate mode and the proof mode, which at the time I was like, I'll never use it. I just want the air fryer mode. The other difference was that it was bigger and more expensive. That's all I was able to find online when it comes to differences between these 2 models. So I was like, this is a no-brainer. I don't need a big toaster oven. I just need the one with the air fryer mode. So I went with this one. Well, there were a lot more differences than I thought. First of all, the differences that I already mentioned. I hope you can tell. I'm gonna insert a lot of clips, a lot of B-roll, so you can tell that this Air Fryer Pro is much better looking. And you can tell there's a lot of small details that makes this device look a lot more polished, a lot better quality, and easier to clean. So that's one of the cons of the Breville air fryer toaster oven, is that it is hard to clean if you bake a lot of greasy food in it, if you bake a lot of vegetables with a lot of oil. The whole thing inside will get covered in oil that will turn brown and be very hard to clean. I'm still finding the best way to clean this air fryer because this thing is a lot more delicate than the regular oven. You can't use the products that you would use to clean a regular oven because you're gonna damage the coating here. So that's what I learned the hard way. It's so hard to clean. If you let it sit, you cannot take the grease off. You can see here, they definitely improved it with this model. This is this year's model. So I do wonder if they also improved the air fryer version. This is a few years old and this is this year's model. From the video I was watching online, seems like this Air Fryer Pro model was looking like that even a few years ago. So I think they just built it differently. And you can see this whole glass, like it's a lot easier to clean because it covers the whole area, where this you have mostly metal, which is very hard to clean. The glass is actually the easiest part to clean. So I love that they extended the glass on the whole door. The other thing is the crumb tray on this thing. The Air Fryer Pro model has a much nicer crumb tray. It's reflective and made from a material that is a lot easier to clean. If you take a look on the inside, the heating elements are looking slightly differently. So on the Air Fryer Pro, you can actually get to the heating elements and wipe them and make sure that they are clean. On this one, unfortunately, they build it in a way that I guess they don't want you to touch it, so you can't really get to those elements unless you have a brush or something. This one is just a lot harder to clean, so they definitely improved it, and I do like how this looks. The convection fan on the Air Fryer Pro looks pretty similar, but the vents on this thing are like very wide open, so like all the fat, everything gets inside of the convection fan on this thing. This is a lot more protected, so they definitely redesigned it to make it easier to clean. A lot of little details that you will not probably hear or see in reviews. At least I didn't see it. I had inspected and compared these two up close by myself to notice that, because you can like find it on Breville's website, and you can't really see in any of the reviews. So this is already much easier to clean, much nicer. The other thing are they're very different from the knobs on the air fryer model. I've noticed that with the knobs on the air fryer model, when I'm using them, sometimes by mistake I miss the mode that I want to select. It's a bad design because pretty much anytime I use it, I'm switching the modes and it always skips the mode that I'm trying to select. I haven't had that issue with this model. So they definitely redesigned these. They look different, they feel different. So I like these a lot more. The other thing is that whenever this thing heats up, like when it's done preheating, when it's done cooking, it's insanely loud. So there's no way to change that. There is the button right there, so you can change the volume, which is so nice, especially if like you're cooking something very early, or people who live in your house are sleeping, like you don't want to wake anyone up. This is much better, especially that the Air Fryer Pro model is much wider when it's warm. So a lot of complaints that I've noticed online, they were saying that the Air Fryer Pro model is like loud, and in my opinion, it's like completely opposite. Like this is much quieter. I can barely tell that this thing is working. They definitely insulated this much better than this model. For me, this is much nicer. The other thing which I've noticed with the air fryer model, it has a static noise. Whenever I plug this in, it's very quiet, but it's there. After some time, my brain starts filtering it and I stop hearing it, but it's there whenever I'm recording a video. This Air Fryer Pro model doesn't have that issue. So I did contact Breville about it, and you know, they said it was a faulty model, and they actually replaced my original Breville air fryer. They sent me another model. So this is the second air fryer that I have. Unfortunately, it has the same issue. So I think it is specific to this model because I already tested two air fryers and they have the same issue. This Air Fryer Pro doesn't have it. So I would say if you don't like buzzing, static noises, I would go with this one because I haven't had that issue. I wasn't sure when I was buying this Air Fryer Pro, I wasn't sure if that would be the right thing because like I don't really need to dehydrate setting. I don't really need the proof. Like it's gonna be nice to have just in case, but I don't need it. So I was like, am I wasting my money? Like I'm paying $50 to have those two modes, and like I don't need them. Well, it turns out there's a lot more to this Air Fryer Pro. It's much nicer. So far, so good. I literally haven't noticed any cons, which I did notice with this one. And I'm gonna be testing it for a very long time. Like I'm gonna prepare a review probably after 6 months and after a year of using it. I am using this thing every single day. I toast my bread here, bake bread, I make croissants, make dinners anytime like I want to grill, bake vegetables like peppers, reheating foods. This works great. Oh, so much better than my regular oven that couldn't keep the same temperature. With this oven, I don't have that issue. Thing is so accurate. Like if it says that it's at 350 degrees, it is at 350. While my regular oven, when it says that it's at 350, it's not. I had to buy a separate thermometer to make sure I wasn't crazy because nothing was baking correctly in my regular oven. It turns out there is an issue with my oven. It's not actually keeping the temperature. So this toaster oven is my go-to. I use it for everything because it just works. So far, I haven't noticed any hot spots or cold spots in this thing. I feel like it is like much better insulated than anything else that I've used. I'm really happy with this and glad that I bought the Air Fryer Pro. It was not cheap. I didn't buy it on sale. So the regular price was $400 plus tax. So it wasn't cheap. But because I use it all the time and it makes my food taste just so much better, it saves me frustration, saves me time, and it looks good on my counter. I was afraid it's gonna be way too big for my small kitchen, but it's actually not that much bigger than this one. It fits in the same spot and it looks so good. This is my review and comparison between the Breville Air Fryer and Breville Air Fryer Pro. If you decide to buy any of these air fryers, don't forget to check out the description below where I put my links to both of these devices. And if you decide to buy any of these with my links, that really helps out my channel. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.